And finally, I want to introduce our presidential professors, most of whom are new presidential professors, most of whom are able to be with us today. They truly recognize merit, and there are 12 faculty members being honored today, and they all meet these very high standards. Assistant and associate professors will receive annual stipends of $5,000 for 4 years as part of the Presidential Professorship, and full professors $10,000 for 4 years. The funds for these professorships have been raised over the last 15 years, and they have been given to us by generous donors. Many of the presidential professorships bear their name. Those that we're honoring today as presidential professors bear the names of Lloyd and Joyce Austin, the Robert Glenn Rapp Foundation, the Stubman and Drace Families Foundations, Ted and Cuba Webb, the President's Associates Program, which provides support for many worthwhile projects, and the President's Associates are represented by Lindy Ritz today. I think, Lindy, are you here? Lindy, would you stand? Thank you. The President's Associates Program is an all-time record of membership. And as you know, the Associates make unrestricted gifts of $1,000 to the university each year. There are well over 3,000 of them. And they also can designate a portion of that gift to a particular university program of their interest. Another of the professorships bears the name of the late Gerald Tuma, another John E. Mertes Jr., and also, well, I believe that's it. That's it. The ones that are being awarded this year named presidential professorships for those who have made them possible. The faculty members being selected today represent a very broad range of disciplines. They are among our most dynamic members of the faculty, respected by their colleagues and valued by their colleagues and students as well, for teaching, mentoring, and research. Some of the ways colleagues and students have described these recipients, and I won't go recipient by recipient, but these are adjectives frequently used to describe them: enthusiastic, engaged, and caring. One was described as a powerhouse, a fireball. Hope nothing be set on fire today in the ceremonies. Teacher, an inspiration, a mentor, a scholar's model, a person of integrity and high moral standards, stellar teacher, productive researcher, always to the point and simple, but often humorous in his approach, works hard to help students understand difficult material by giving many real-world examples and allowing the class to ask questions and discuss topics together. A deft discussion leader excels in posing questions that provoke intense, focused discussions. A very gifted and devoted scientist who presents fascinating lectures. So it is my pleasure now to introduce the 17th class of presidential professors and to ask them to come forward. When they're all forward, as they come forward, they'll receive their certificates of appointment and recognition, and then when they're all here together, we will applaud them as a group. Professor Mary Sue Bacchus, College of Law, Robert Glenn Rapp Foundation Presidential Professor. Associate Professor Hester Baer, Department of Modern Languages, Literature, Linguistics, College of Arts and Sciences, President's Associates, Presidential Professor. Sesh Kamuri, School of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Gerald Tuma, Presidential Professor. Associate Professor Sarah Ellis, School of Music, and a second century Associates Presidential Professor. Assistant Professor Megan Elwood Madden, ConocoPhillips School of Geology and Geophysics at the New Bern College, the Stubman Grace Presidential Professorship. Assistant Professor Matthew Jensen, Division of Management Information System in the Price College, the Mertes Presidential Professor. Eric Kramer, Department of Communications, College of Arts and Sciences, President's Associates Professor. Professor Gerald Miller, School of Civil Engineering and Environmental Science, College of Engineering, Robert Glenn Rapp Presidential Professor, Associate Professor Joshua A. Piker, Department of History, College of Arts and Sciences, President's Associate Professor James P. Schaefer, Homer Dodge, Department of Physics and Astronomy, and also I think out of town today, but is represented by Physics and Astronomy Chair Greg Parker. Associate Professor Albert Striolo, School of Chemical, Biological, and Materials Engineering, College of Engineering, the Lloyd Joyce Austin Presidential Professor, and Associate Professor Justin Work, Department of Political Science, who again is out of state and will be represented by Political Science Chair Greg Russell. So let us recognize this outstanding class of presidential